Hello, welcome to the second hour podcast. I am the co-host Saad, and this is the co-host Zergham. Today marks the first episode, and in this first episode, we're going to be talking about who we are. So you get to know us, why we started this podcast, who this podcast is for, and all that good stuff. तो उसको शुरू करते हैं, starting with Zergham's story, so you can all get an experience of what's about to come.
Hello everyone, my name is Zergham and currently I'm a undergraduate and I'm going to tell you about myself, about how I started myself and how I've begun my journey in my, I can say, in my career. So back in 2020, I started as a photographer and a videography in a really small business. And what I did over there was do event shoots and photography and आहिस्ता आहिस्ता हुआ ये कि like we started growing and हमने फिर आहिस्ता आहिस्ता मार्केटिंग एजेंसीज के लिए फैशन शूट्स के लिए कॉर्पोरेट शूट्स के लिए हम लोगों ने काम करना शुरू कर दिया and slowly we grew and we grew exponentially and alhamdulillah the business was growing and it is still growing alhamdulillah and we got to the point that we are like shooting the products, FMCG products and all that sort of things. And then came 2024. It was the time when I realized that I have to give myself a platform on marketing. Uh, it wasn't in the starting of 2024. It was like August in 2023 that I decided to become a marketer. Basically, when I started my university degree, I was an accounting finance student. So मेरा इरादा था कि like मैं finance में जाऊंगा and I'll do CA, CPA, CFA, all that sort of shenanigans in that time. But soon I realized that I'm more of a creative guy rather than being a finance guy. So yeah, कहते हैं कि like CA, CCA वालों की hefty amounts की salaries होती हैं and all that. But I wasn't that kind of guy at that moment कि मैं salaries के लिए seek करूँ. I was like so ambitious and I was uh, go through it, go at it kind of attitude I had. So what I did, I started my degree in marketing. Like I switched my AF degree to marketing, and so on. It has come to the point that I become the marketing specialist. Then I grew myself into more niche in that. You can say brand strategist. So with that, I formed a marketing team. It was a team of 7 people. एंड 7 people तो थे उसके अंदर लेकिन उसके अंदर से सिर्फ मुश्किल से 2 या 3 रह गए सो होता ये है कि लाइक इन द बिगिनिंग यू डोंट नो हाउ टू मेक अ टीम how to create team. That's a frustration to be honest because you cannot trust anybody. You cannot trust everybody. That's the point. So what I did is like I kept on going, I kept on going, I kept on going. I formed a marketing agency named Perspective Visionaries. I provided services to almost 40 plus clients, and I had many remarkable achievements in that. And yeah, it has been great since that. And then I've been growing myself in more of a more of a education stuff, gaining certificates, experiences, and trying to get into the corporate sector of marketing and trying to approach industry leaders to gain more insights, connect to the higher people, founders, so that they recognize my potential so I can work with them. So yeah, Saad, you tell me about yourself. You tell me what you have been through, mashallah. Uh, I know about you, but you should tell to the people okay, what you've achieved, mashallah.
Yeah, there's a couple of things that I didn't even know in that introduction you just gave me. So, yeah, that's like a first time for me as well. So, about me, who I am, if you could sum me in a word, that would be an aspiring entrepreneur. I, I'm basically an entrepreneur who's trying to collect ingredients for his ultimate masterpiece, like my magnum opus. So, what does that exactly mean? Let's revisit back to 2021 when I had this bug of entrepreneurship cut me, pinch me. So, once I set out on that, I was like, okay, I know the basic equation of how the world works, and that is you provide value to other people and they will give you what you want. And I intended to make this statement that I heard at that time into a belief set in stone. And it's still that belief, that core belief that influences all my decisions. So that led me to a copywriting gig at an agency, a marketing agency that was based in Lahore. They used to work with big brands, especially from Lahore. Since they were a lumps-based agency, so we got to work with service shoes, we got to work with clothing brands like Johra and Eminence, and we also got to work with the luxury brands. So I had my fair share of marketing experience there, and I also learned how to, uh, manage clients. I was put in a team of many people. I was also put in a team of two people. Then I was also put in a team all by myself. And I've been through all of these situations before. And I'm sure that people, जो कि ये बात ये podcast सुन रहे हैं, they would be interested into hearing what I experienced and what I have to say about people who are going to navigate this space. So there's that. Then after that one and a half year into marketing agency as a copywriter, I eventually found my interest in advertising. So I had the opportunity of running some Facebook ads with that agency. So somewhere along the line, I made some new connections. I just kept on networking, and soon enough, I had a friend who was launching his Amazon brand, and he had a product that he wanted to advertise, and he was going to advertise it through paid ads on Amazon, and that really interested me. So uh, I I was there with him in that whole product launch, from like start to finish. You can say that the moment the inventory landed and the moment the inventory was sold, I was there for the whole process. Fast forward a couple of months, 6, 8 months later, I got a job at a, agency, this time a PPC agency, an Amazon PPC agency, in which I had the opportunity to work with accounts that had like big portfolios. And in that time, I was just about done with my second year studies. So you can see, like, I got started in this stuff pretty early, and because I always had that kind of itch to it. The main reason why I wanted to be like this was because when I was, doing my first year studies, I felt like, why are so many people like, there's just so many people like us who have been given dreams and ambitions to pursue. Like, you have to pass NMDCAT and then what? So I really didn't quite understand it. I just didn't feel like, oh, this is something that connects with me. So I didn't go that way, and I'm glad that I didn't go that way. I'll tell you in a second why. Because of the mindset that I developed by going against the grain, by thinking outside the box. I got an opportunity to work with one of the best brands, one of the biggest and most, uh, best known agencies in Pakistan for PPC. Then I also got in a Prime Minister's National Innovation Award, uh, where I was, coached on how to raise startups funding and like how to run them. And then I ended up in the Prime Minister's house. Long story. It's a long story, but I'll just summarize it. I ended up in the Prime Minister's house, and we all presented our ideas there that we cooked up in during those 6 months of coaching that we had. And then after that, I think that was like my first semester in which I was doing all that stuff. So I got a pretty good edge in all these things. Then came my fourth semester. I submitted like a machine learning paper because my major is in AI. So that's why I'm like a computer science major. So I'm actually studying artificial intelligence, all these machine learning models and all that fancy stuff. Um, in fourth semester, I happened to present my research paper that I prepared with my classmate. So there was that. I had that opportunity, and shortly after that, I started another agency of my own for PPC called Profity Media. And it's been going well so far. I've served many clients under that flagship, and I've come to experience many things, like from working in an agency and running an agency. I've like come full circle, and I'll definitely have something that you definitely want to listen to. Uh, so there's that. And also, if you are coming from the Profit in Media podcast or like Profit in Media stuff, if you watch that content, so you know very well the kind of value that I provide. So there's that. This introduction's been a bit long, but I wanted to just squeeze everything right here in one go. So there's no, things left over.
So, Saad, uh, that's a great thing about both of us. Like we have touched the boundaries on both sides. Like you have such a structured way of getting through things. Like you joined an agency, gain some experience, build your own business, and get to that. Whereas myself, I took I took a plunge. Like when I was in semester four, I had a sir. Uh, he told me one thing. Like when you know something you can do, you take the plunge. Take the plunge. Take the leap, and and everything is in hands of God. So what we seven people did, like we took the plunge, and main roles for those guys were like one एक वेबसाइट बना सकता था एक एक्सक्लूड कर सकता था आई माई सेल्फ मैं एड रन कर सकता था क्रिएटिव्स के अंदर था मैं एंड एक था कि लाइक वो सारे ऑपरेशंस को हमने मैनेज करने के लिए रखा हुआ था एक फाइनेंस के लिए रखा हुआ था हमने एंड एक हमने क्या कहते हैं बिल्कुल सेपरेटली हमने एक रखा हुआ था कंटेंट राइटर एंड they are absolutely great and I know some of them are watching over here as well and they are absolutely awesome people and uh, they know what they're doing but the thing is that we were not structured very well. That's why we fall apart. In the future we will have podcasts on that. eh, how to build a team, how to select, how to pick the people, how to pick the perfect mushrooms you say. So yeah, so that's a great thing. Go ahead.
Well, yes, I mean, it's really important what you just discussed, having a structured way of doing things. But, often found myself being too rigid. The way I was a couple of years ago and the way I am now, like there's a complete 180. You won't be able to recognize it. I used to be a person who always wanted to have his own systems that would work, and just you would either follow my systems or my work schedule, or you just don't. And that was like one of the naive mistakes that I used to make at the time. So now I've gotten over it. Now I know how to structure the SOPs. So this is like, that a couple of years that I ran Profit in Media, I had lots of invaluable experience on how to train people, on how to, assign them things that they can handle, and how to like help them, encourage them to get to the next step so they can be a valuable part of your agency. There are also all of these things included making SOPs and all these things. But ultimately, what matters, even if you're an agency owner, is sales, is clients, is a pipeline of clients that want to work with you. So, operations are important. I mean, I've been working in the operations department of Profit Media for a long time. But what's more important, I think, is getting to work with clients that, subscribe to your vision, and also employees that also subscribe to your vision, because that is more important in the long run. Because, you know, uh, the expectations you set today will affect the outcome you have in the end of that relationship with another person. So if you're going to set the expectations that this is some half-assed agency, we're going to be having half-assed work done, that's not going to cut it.
The point is that the whole team should be a fixed point, working towards one goal. जब ऐसा होता है कि लाइक हर किसी का एक डिफरेंट नैरेटिव होता है, गोल होता है, एक अलग विजन होता है चीज को लेके चलने का, सो थिंग्स फॉल ऑफ थिंग्स फॉल ऑफ वेरी वेरी क्विकली. क्योंकि अगर एक बंदा चाहता है कि लाइक आई वांट टू अचीव दिस गोल ए, other people are saying I want to achieve this, that. So होता ही है कि लाइक जो एक हायरार्की आप क्रिएट करना चाह रहे होते हो, एक टीम बिल्ड करना चाह रहे होते हो विद केमिस्ट्री अमंग देम, बिल्ड नहीं.
Yeah, I mean, team building is definitely a really important subject. इसको हम बिल्कुल deny नहीं कर सकते. But in my experience, what I've come across is building a personal brand is generally more important for the sake of your own agency. So you'll be able to attract a higher quality of clients, the clientele that your employees would be happy to work with. Because at the end of the day, they're the ones who are going to be paying the bills for your employees. You don't have anything out of your pocket, do you? Because you don't. So what I would say कि हमें यहाँ पे कुछ I'm sure the listeners would love to see how we succeeded in attracting clientele that served us and our agency, and how we were a perfect match in the sense that we had a win-win situation with them. So they got what they wanted, and then we got what we wanted. And how did we all do that? And it all starts with the first impression you make on clients. Cold outreach होता है clients में. People have very inflated expectations of them. I was pretty much humbled when I first started cold outreaching. Like me and my partners, we sent emails so high. They were like ultra hyper personalized emails and pitches to brands, and they were like 600 to 700 brands, believe me. And still we had no responses. Then we were like, okay, this is not the matter of, oh, why are people not responding to the quality of my post? Why are they not looking at the effort that I've put? Because here's the thing, before quality comes quantity. If you don't have something in quantity, if you don't test something in quantity, you don't know what is quality. मजे की बात क्या है? आप बनाए ना, आप एक ईमेल बनाए, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट ईमेल है, उसमें आप तस्वीरें भी डालें, उसमें आप पीडीएफ भी अटैच करें, उसमें आप गिफ्ट्स भी डालें, उसमें आप हाइपर पर्सनलाइज्ड ईमेल्स भी डालें. ये मैं स्पेसिफिकली कोल्ड आउटरीच के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में बात कर रहा हूँ. और आप ये सेंड कर दें 100 बंदों को, आपको 100 बंदों में किसी का भी रिप्लाई नहीं मिलेगा. हाँ, बाय सम शेयर अमाउंट ऑफ लक आपको एक बंदा वापस रिप्लाई कर दे. बट then I would ask you to replicate that process again, and you won't be able to do that. Q, because this is exactly what happened to us. We were like on cloud nine, because that's how we decided on sending these 600 to 700 high personalized emails के हमने जो एक छोटा सा एक्सपेरिमेंट किया था, उसमें हमें एक आउटलायर, हमें एक रिजल्ट मिला, और हमने उस आउटलायर रिजल्ट को देखते हमने अपनी पूरी स्ट्रैटेजी उस चीज पे बना दी. So that was something that really did cost us pretty penny. अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह अब उन चीज़ों से हमने सीख लिया है, और now we have some strategies कि हम क्वालिटी क्वांटिटी में चीज़ करते हैं. अगर हम आज कोई टेस्ट ईमेल भी बना के सेंड करते हैं, So it would be at least with 4,000 recipients in that list, at least for testing samples. This is me talking about testing samples because क्वालिटी आप तब तक नहीं जानते जब तक आपने क्वांटिटी में कोई चीज़ ना सेंड की हो, क्योंकि क्वांटिटी में जब आप चीज़ सेंड करते हैं उसकी फीडबैक आप लेते हैं तब आपको पता चलता है कि व्हाट इज क्वालिटी एंड व्हाट इज नॉट क्वालिटी. बिकॉज रिमेंबर दिस, you are not the customer, so you should not do the thinking for them. You should not deduce कि उनको क्या पसंद है क्या पसंद नहीं है, because you're not them. Because क्योंकि मार्केट में जो है ना मसला ये है कि न्यू एंटरप्रेन्योर्स दे आर लाइक ओके मुझे क्या चीज़ पसंद है, मुझे ये चीज़ पसंद है और मैं ये चीज़ बेचना शुरू करूंगा क्योंकि ये अच्छी चीज़ है, अच्छी क्वालिटी है, अच्छा काम है, एथिकल है, ये है वो है वो है. However, how many labels you want to put into it. Like, and at the end of the day, the market does not respond, and that entrepreneur is left with a broken heart, with his dreams crushed, all because he was not perceptive enough. He was not observant enough. आप मार्केट में अपनी पसंद की चीज नहीं डालते, आप मार्केट में कस्टमर की पसंद को देखते हैं, फिर उसके मुताबिक चीजें डालते हैं.
एग्जैक्टली. सो द थिंग इज कि जब आप एक बिजनेस रन करते हैं और खास तौर पे मार्केटिंग एजेंसीज जो आप रन करते हैं जहाँ पे बात आती है क्लाइंट्स की, सो देर इज अ नॉर्म कि जो आपके क्लाइंट्स होंगे दे विल बी नेवर 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 बी क्लियर विद यू. You will present them with something, they'll demand you something, then you'll present them what they demanded, they'll ask for something else. This goes on and on. So I'll tell you one example. जब आप एक पिच डेक के साथ उनके पास जाते हो, they will always oppose. They will always oppose you. Uh, they will always pick things which are not even relevant at that point to them because they are so focused on their vision instead of mission. Mission should be something in current development. Vision should be something which takes a lot of steps towards development, towards something a specific, towards something a specific goal, very specific goal. But what happened is जब मैं perspective engineers को form कर रहा था, what happened that time is कि मैं उस वक्त अपने घर के ऊपर सोलर लगवा रहा था. सो आई सॉ पोटेंशियल इन दोज पीपल जो मेरे घर पे आए थे सोलर पैनल लगवाने के लिए. तो मैंने बोला कि लाइक मैं उनका नाम उनके ब्रांड का नाम नहीं ले सकता अभी फिलहाल. उसका भी एक रीजन है. सो हुआ ये कि लाइक आई स्टार्टेड हंटिंग देम ऑन सोशल मीडिया कि लाइक उनकी कितनी अप्रोच है, उनकी कितनी एडवर्टाइजमेंट है, क्योंकि उस वक्त बहुत सारी एडवर्टाइजमेंट और उनके तरीके के कंपेटिटर्स मार्केट के अंदर थे. सो व्हाट आई प्रपोज टू देम कि आप अपना पूरा एक ब्रांड का आउटलुक बनाओ, एक पूरी ब्रांड की एक पहचान बनाओ. और आपका इवन कि आपका नाम भी नहीं है, यू हैव एवरीथिंग यू कैन गो थ्रू. आपके पास सोर्सेज हैं, आपके पास आपके बंदे हैं काम करने के लिए, सब कुछ है. व्हाट यू नीड इज अ प्लेटफॉर्म टू रिप्रेजेंट योरसेल्फ. सो उनको बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग लगी मेरी बात. उनका दूसरे विजिट के ऊपर मैंने उनको उनकी सर्च इंजन ऑप्टिमाइजेशन उसके ऊपर मैंने बताया कि लाया आपकी वेबसाइट बनेगी, ऐसा होगा ऐसा होगा ऐसा होगा. एट दैट टाइम आई न्यू माय फ्रेंड्स हैड पोटेंशियल टू बिल्ड अ वेबसाइट, टू डू देन एसईओ, टू डू द एडवर्टाइजमेंट्स एंड ऑल दैट. uh liked it. He absolutely liked it and he was like yes, okay, let's meet in the office and all that. एंड मैंने क्या एक जिस तरह दोस्तों के बीच के अंदर एक होता है ना कि यू सेंड अ मैसेज के लाइक आई जस्ट पिच्ड अ marketing pitch deck to someone. So we were all ecstatic like over the roof. कोई उसका वो नहीं था, कोई उसका मोल नहीं था, कोई उसका लिमिट नहीं थी. तो व्हाट हैपेंड इज कि जब हमने उनको प्रपोज किया ही वाज सो कंफ्यूज्ड. उनको समझ नहीं आ रहा था कि इसके अंदर पैसे लगेंगे. उनको लिटरली समझ नहीं आता इसके अंदर पैसे लगेंगे. लाइक he wasn't even considering the cost of making website, cost of buying and hosting. Like that's the level of uh, what do you say? What would you pronounce it?
I would say they simply did not know any better. Yeah, mistakes you have, either they can come from not knowing things or not wanting to know things. However, we're not in the position to judge them. Uh, what is important is that now that they have learned कि हाँ costs होती हैं, now if they have learned to factor in costs in their future endeavors, that is problem fixed. All right. So yeah, definitely. The clients that you talked about, their main issue that you said with the explanation, it seems like they were more focused on chasing their fantasies rather than looking at the market and seeing कि यार मार्केट में बंदों को क्या चाहिए, what क्या बिक रहा है और क्या हम उसे अच्छा कर सकते हैं, और अच्छा अगर अच्छा हम कर सकते हैं तो क्या हम कस्टमर से फीडबैक लिए कि वाकई ही वो चीज उनके काम की है. This is basically market. This is basically market validation 101. Very simple as that. It's baffling to know that there's many people that struggle with this, myself included. I mean, there's no one here to tell us कि यार business कैसे run करना है. This is something that you only learn with kicks and bruises from the University of Life. But there's one lesson, like I told you in the beginning of my introduction, कि एक कोई belief था that has kept me grounded and helped me avoid many pitfalls and mistakes, is that कि when you provide value to other people, you will get what you want. Don't try to sell them what you think is good. Sell them what they think is good for them, and that is it. Because marketing at the end of the day is perception. I'm personally really passionate about marketing and everything that comes along with it. Advertising is like a passion that I want to pursue you know, till the end of life, I would say, but no one knows the future itself.
Inshallah, we will have a podcast on value perception as well. Value perception is a really an important topic. Because proceeding from that client, I always considered providing value, like what they want, not something I would prefer. This would be right for them. This would be right for them. Initially, what I was thinking, like they would consider it because they were nowhere anywhere in that market. That's how I consider it. Like let's build them.
Yeah, I mean, there are some things that just take time. If you want your client to listen to your word, you've got to give him a reason. If you put yourself in their shoes, to them it seems like they're just a guy. They just came into my business. I've been running my business for a long time, and now suddenly he starts telling me, he starts tearing down my ideas, and he is basically, destroying the entire belief that I had for my business, the entire vision that I had for my business. And I put all my heart and soul into it. And now that I discover, and this guy's telling me that all I've been doing was selfish and I was following my passions and that I'm supposed to follow the market and only money will come in. So there are people who just can't digest that. And
And the really critical point about Pakistani business is that they really don't want to invest in marketing. They think that posting on Instagram and all that is called marketing. Well, we will have another podcast. We have discussed a lot of topics in that. So yeah, Saad, take it on.
so there's that. Today's podcast was like the episode one, and like many beginnings, these steps are meant to be these steps. Even if you stumble in them, they're like a benchmark of how better you get 1 year from now. When you look at at these videos and you're like, okay, this is how we've improved. Nonetheless, we try to keep this thing value packed, and I hope the next coming episodes will be with founders and business people who have many things that you'll find value in. And yeah, there's that. With that being said, I like to log off for today's episode, and yeah.
Till then, see you.
Till then, see you. It's been a pleasure with you being with us here. Yeah, take care and have a good one.